Noah Hanifin has been dealt to the Las Vegas Golden Knights, the top blue liner on TSN's trade bait board. In return, Calgary gets defenseman Danil Miromanov, who is expected to sign a contract extension with the Flames. They also get a first-round pick and a conditional third-round pick. The Philadelphia Flyers pick up some salary retention, allowing them to receive Las Vegas's fifth-round pick in this year's NHL entry draft, which will be in Las Vegas at the Sphere. Meanwhile, in Tampa, hanging out by a bunch of cool yachts, it's our Calgary Flames reporter Salim Valji, who's hanging out with the team as they get set to begin a road trip. So the Noah Hanifin saga, Salim, comes to an end. Months of speculation. Finally, it's done. How do you think this will be viewed in the dressing room for the Flames, considering this team is still only 8 points out of a wild card spot?
Well, Jay, there's nothing like a franchise-altering trade to ruin a perfectly good Florida vacation. And believe it or not, I actually think this will be really well received. And it's no slight on Noah Hanifin, who I think is a really popular teammate. But the truth is that guys read, they understand what's going on here. And I think they were waiting for these dominoes to fall, not just with Noah Hanifin, but with the likes of Chris Tanev and earlier Elias Lindholm. And one player told me that they had a team dinner on Tuesday night, and Hanifin's status was an elephant in the room during that team dinner. So these players, they understand what's going on. They appreciate that Hanifin being an American, he probably did want to play some of his years down south. And despite the fact that they're not getting a roster player who will help them immediately during that playoff push like you referenced, Jay, I think there's a sense of closure. They don't have to answer our questions nearly as frequently. And there's a sense that, look, we understand who's going to be on this team heading forward. Michael Backlund said that this morning. And as a result, I think that they, even though their roster might not be as good on paper as it was a few hours ago, they can move forward as a group. And I think that's really important for the psychology of a team that's had as much drama, Jay, as the Calgary Flames have had really since the start of the season.
And that, of course, leaves us with one lingering question, and that's the future of Jacob Markstrom. How do you think that plays out at this point?
Your guess is as good as mine, Jay. One thing we can say is that he is not happy with how this has played out. His comments a few days ago, a day before Mika Kiprasov's jersey got retired, indicate a guy that isn't thrilled with how upper management has handled this situation. You got to remember, Jacob is performing at a Vezina caliber level this season, but the Calgary Flames are not likely to make the playoffs. Jacob is in his mid-30s, and you can't blame him if he looks at the roster, he looks at the fact that his best friend in Elias Lindholm and one of his favorite teammates ever in Chris Tanev were dealt over the past couple of months. And Jacob looks at this and he sees a group that's getting younger, but it's not going to contend for a Stanley Cup in the near future. And he wants to go to a contender. So while your guess is as good as mine as to if he'll remain a Calgary Flame past this Friday, it is safe to say that he's not thrilled with how this has been handled, whether the public speculation every other day on different platforms, or the fact that the Flames have changed direction since he signed his contract here a few seasons ago. It does seem like he's not thrilled about the prospect of being in Calgary. And the reality, Jay, is that Flames ownership wants to make the playoffs. They want that gate revenue. It's just a question of whether their franchise goalie is still on board with what he signed up for in Calgary a few seasons ago.
We shall see if Markstrom is between the pipes Thursday night as Calgary begins a 3-game road trip against the Lightning. Salim Valji, enjoy those yachts.
You know I will, Jay.